Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I finally hit God of Destruction in Tekken 8. Yes, we did it. After that 100-day challenge, I decided that I would try it out and keep sticking with Tekken and try and win. And a year and a half later, I finally hit it. Now, it's not necessarily the quickest way to hit it. It was in Season 3, which was a little bit easier. But I thought, let me not hold off the things I learned to get me there. Because you might be a Xiaoyu that's struggling and needs to learn some stuff real quick to get you past wherever the struggling area is that you need to get through. So let's jump in and I'll take you through how to hit God of Destruction, at least in 2026. What is it? It's May. So we don't have Kunimitsu right now. We don't have any of those other ones. So I don't know what they're going to bring in store. Alright, so where to start? Alright, so basically at this level, the difference between my last videos where I was taking you through how to get Tekken God is that you kind of can't afford not to duck stuff at this point in the time. You do really need to look out for duckable highs. Now, I'm not saying I know them all. I'm not saying I duck them. A lot of times it's luck, but you definitely still need to do it because you never know. You might see one that you can duck and then quickly launch someone. So look out for them, because usually those are like the nasty plus frame moves. The other thing you need to look out for is someone's getting a move that looks like a plus frame. Like in this case, Xiaoyu's, that's a plus frame for Xiaoyu. Try and use back one as much as possible on a plus frame. It doesn't solve every single issue or scenario, but a lot of these people don't expect it. Now, if they did expect it, they won't take their turn after their plus frame. They might dash back or something, or just hold a block. Usually they'll dash back and then they'll launch you. But most people are going to try and take that plus frame, and you can just keep back one in until they decide that they're going to learn and play differently. It doesn't protect against everything. There are things that it doesn't actually stop, but think of it like Yoshi's Flash. Like when he does it and you block it, mad launchable. But if he does it and you're not expecting it, particularly when you're trying to take your turn or a plus frame, it's kind of pretty OP move. Same deal with the back one. You pretty much just use it just to stop opponent's defense, which is a very big deal at the moment for this game. If you can stop the opponent's defense and keep your turn as much as possible, that's pretty much the way to get to God of Destruction. And it all starts at the start. So when I'm here at this point in time, obviously I don't know anything about this opponent, right? I don't know if they're going to sidestep, I don't know if they're going to attack, I don't know if they're going to block back, I don't know what they're going to do, power crush, throw, I have no clue. I have no clue what they're going to do. All I can do is base their actions on the other opponents I'm getting my rank. Now usually, you're going to find either a sidestep, an aggressive quick attack. Very rare are they going to do some slow attack, you know, they're not going to like do that necessarily, but they could. Or they'll just hold back, or they'll try and like do like a KBD real quick at the start. I do slow lows because I'm expecting that they're not going to be ready for a slow low around start, but bear in mind people are. So you kind of want to look at this and go, alright, what is my best choice here? Now blocking back's a good choice, but if you decide to block back, you basically have just given up your turn, particularly if they attack. You know, and if you keep blocking back, then it means they take the first turn, so they kind of get a good head start on the fight. How I like to do it is I like down for one, though it's sidesteppable. I like doing this because it catches sidestep. I like doing this because it catches a sidestep. So basically I make a call on whether I think they're going to do a sidestep or not. If they're going to do a sidestep, I do this. Pretty much, or I do this. Now, if I also think they're going to sidestep or if they're going to mash on me, I also do this move, which is very negative if they block it. But you'll be surprised how many times I can like start the fight with that and not get hurt. Another way, if I think they're going to sidestep and they can't block low, I'll hit them with that. Alright, those are like the unsafe options. I throw them in when I'm pretty certain someone's going to sidestep. Or spam a move that's over 12 frames. Okay, now if they're not going to do that, safer option, 2 jabs. Or this kind of jab, because that will catch the sidestep at the end. That will be enough to get your turn. Rarely do you get launched on it, but sometimes it can work. And then the last one I like to do is if I think they're going to do like a quick jab. If I think they're going to do like a quick jab here, I'll take one step back, let it whiff, and I'll launch them. It's basically what I'm looking for. Sometimes I will do a sidestep of my own. You know, I'll usually go like sidestep AOP because it like expands your sidestep range and it's equally as fast. So I'll do that and then I'll work out what I would do there. Either usually you do this into blue, or I'd try that and try and launch them. But again, if you try and go in AOP and they call out AOP somehow, you get counter hit. So you just got to be careful of that. But basically what's very important to do is really look at what your opponent does once you start learning about them in the fight. Pay attention to how they start the rounds. Do they start the rounds defensive all the time? Do they start the rounds super aggressive with a power crush? Do they try and like get like an immediate plus frame on you round start if they've got one? You know, like pay attention to how they are taking their turn. Is it a high? Is it a mid? Is it a low? And adjust on that. Now, if someone's always going to do a low, you can obviously adjust and do a hop kick. So basically, you got to really call out like what you think someone's going to do at the start. And people tend to repeat at this point in time. Like they kind of can't help playing the way they play. So if you think someone likes to sidestep and they can't sidestep and block back, this move is basically super OP at the start. You get like an immediate launch. Immediate launch, and if you're lucky you even get the wall combo if you do it properly, depending on the map. So yeah, that was my first thing, is I worked out to not have to deal with their offense. I just try and take my turn as soon as possible and counter whatever they do at the start as soon as possible. Now if that doesn't work, you have to play the neutral game and or the blocking game, where you've got to basically withstand their offense for a certain amount of time so you can take your turn. So it's all about how do you take your turn. So you got to have a look at their offenses and break it down. That part I can't teach you. If you're struggling with certain characters where you can't get your turn back, you need to look at your replays and look at the flowchart and work out what the hell is beating you and where you can get out in any of it. And I had to do that for some of them. I definitely had to do it for certain characters. Another good one around start is this, but again, if they block this, you're kind of just giving up your turn. So, but it does catch sidestepping, you know. So I still do this from time to time, but I try and shy away from it. Down for one's good if they're not gonna like sidestep. I find that's not too bad. Alright, so that is the round start stuff. Now in terms of combo setups, rarely do I do that launch. I've been trying to do it in my thing, but rarely do I get it. Doesn't mean don't do it, just I haven't had to use it to get to go destruction. Mostly this one, and this one. Those are the main ones I've been using from memory. I don't think I've had to do any other ones. Oh, and this one. Yeah, this one's been pretty important too. So those are three actually. This one, and this one. Now with this one I do cancel it. And I sometimes can't, and this one I guess, but very rare. I sometimes cancel into like a safer move. Or if I think they're gonna like duck the so low. Basically I have these setups, right? And you'll be surprised how many people will just sit there and let you like cancel in front of them. A lot of people see this and go into defense mode. They don't naturally go into offense mode, so you just gotta play it by ear. Like if you think your opponents like suppress buttons, then you will never be able to do this stuff. But if you think your opponent kind of will give you time to sit back, then you can kind of mix them up with this a little bit and test out basically their weaknesses, right? So that's like the second thing, is like I started testing what our opponents weak in, and what I found, the opponents are weak in certain things. Like, do they know Xiaoyu matchup? Xiaoyu matchup will be something like this. If we put this person on block, this is a plus frame, right? They can duck it. Good players will duck it. Good players will duck it, right? Which means that you have to then mix them up or just do one and block, right? Alright. You have two types of players. You get the player that will do a slow move after that, right? They'll hit immediately after that, and they'll do a slow move, in which case that will counter hit them, right? That's setup number one. So hit your plus frame, hit your plus frame, and then hit this, and then that will counter hit into a combo, right? As long as they press a button. Number two is, what people would do with that plus frame is they like to jab you out of it. So you'll get the plus frame, they'll jab you, or they'll try and like, they'll find a way to jab you, right? Or Disney jab you, depending on the person. That beats this move a lot of time because it's kind of slow. Usually the jab will beat it or trade with it. So what I do is this, I do my plus frame, they block it right. And then if you think they're gonna be a jabbing type of person, bears will do it a lot. Like Kumas and Pandas. Just press like 4. And what you'll do is, you'll basically beat them or trade with them. And if you either of those, you'll still get a launch. Now if they block that, you get launched yourself. But again, you'll be surprised how many people just literally will not duck this, they'll block it, and then you'll just get a free like RDS4 basically. So that's one of the things I had to use to win fights. And if I found someone was really susceptible to that move, I'd keep putting them in that position and that spot and keep doing that until they adjusted. When they adjust, you can just switch it up. Take your plus frame, do the low, take your plus frame, do a safer low, take your plus frame back away and launch them. Like you got other things to do to adjust to their adjustment. And you do have to adjust to people's adjustments, you know, but if you're lucky, a lot of my opponents didn't really adjust to stuff. I would say 60% didn't adjust and then the rest did adjust. Now the ones that do adjust, you still have to win to get to go destruction usually. I took all the fights, didn't one and done or anything like that. So you just gotta play it by whoever you got, right? And then adjust to them. And that's where you're gonna get better as a player. Alright, some other stuff that I would do. I like doing the cancels a lot. A lot of people will let you cancel. Now, if they don't let you cancel, if you find that when you do this, you get launched, they are probably calling out your cancels. They probably know that Xiaoyus can cancel moves, right? So if that's happening with your cancels, then you want to stop doing them. Unfortunately, you won't get your cancels, alright? You can try all of them to see if they just happen to know one spot where you cancel. But yeah, a good player is just going to assume that a Xiaoyu is going to cancel, right? So they're just going to call it out and launch you. So if they're going to call out your cancels, you want to finish the strings, right? You want to finish the strings. Ideally, a little bit delayed. So like this is instant timing. But if you can delay a little bit, like that, you can kind of catch people out there trying to call out your cancel and then you can get into blue. Now if they block it, you get punished. And a lot of people know that punish, weirdly enough. On the flip side, if they don't call out your cancels, you pretty much have free game on them for a while. Because you can get into your back turn, you can sidestep, which gives you a really good sidestep. You can cancel back and try and launch, right? You can cancel back and dash back. You can just turn around. And you can cancel back into an AOP. Those are your options, right? And you pick them based on the character you're versed in and the player and how they react, and your understanding of what will make their move whiff, which will be a little bit of trial and error, but you need to be aware of like setting up space like that so that they can whiff in that space and then you can launch them, right? You can launch them with a hop kick, you can launch them with a AOP up 3, you can launch them by stepping back a little bit more or KBDing back, right? So it's up to you. You're just gonna kind of have to call it out. The most common one that I do is this one, back, and then I try and do that as a counter hit, or like that, so that I'm facing forwards. You could try this way and delay it. Sometimes people wait before they hit you, and the delay kind of helps. So you just gotta see. You just gotta see. So that's one thing I use. Another thing I use is I'll go down into a low like that. I'll go down into that, depending if they're ducking, I'll go into that. And sometimes if I got a lot of time, I'll go into this one and I'll go into this one, right? Those are your like mix-up options, right? And then this is like the combo. Alright. What's another thing that I think's useful? Alright, this move is pretty useful. That move there, even though they can duck the second hit, if they don't duck it, and they probably won't, you're like -1. If they try and take their, +1 turn, because it is their turn, you can kind of cheese them with this. You know, it turns this into a 13 frame move, which isn't too bad. You got that option, and then you can power crush as well. Unless you think they're gonna do a jab. But Power Crush is kind of a good OP thing. Another one where Power Crush is good for is this. Same situation, they're +1. They want to hit on you. If you just do a Power Crush immediately after, some people will fall for that like every time. So literally all you have to do is keep getting them into this scenario and you win. And if that doesn't work and they do a high, you can always do a slow low. Or you can sidestep and do the low like that. Or you can, what's the last one? You can go and like, if you watch this, they're +1. But if I press 4, that makes it a 12 frame counter hit. So it could beat a lot of their moves unless they're doing like low frame stuff, which usually I'm finding that people don't immediately, even in these rings. I mean, don't get me wrong, people are very good. There was extremely good people that had to fight. But everybody will find, you usually find something that someone's weak in, right? At least most of the time, you're gonna be able to find something someone's weak in. And it could just be they keep lacking the press into that, or it might be that they're choosing a 13 or higher frame move so this doesn't like, so this thing hits them. It might be that they react with the high so you can like steal your turn by ducking that with the slow low and hitting them with that. They might not be calling out your cancels, they might not be like ducking that move and giving you a free plus frame mix up, right? If they don't jab on this, I like to go into that because that one is a little bit more risky if they block it. Other way you can do this is you keep just doing it, right? But I feel like if you keep doing it like this, they eventually work out that you're doing a high, and also you're gonna whiff a little bit. So you're exposed, but I usually like these lows. Okay, another thing that I did to rank up is I run in like this. I run in like this, and I'll either go like that if I think it's still my turn, which if I hit them, usually they will step back because I'm +5. Technically, it is my turn. So I'll either do this move and for the +12, which then gives me guaranteed follow-up, or I'll do this for the low. And then once I'm here, I'm back into neutral. And then I would probably do this, that, and then that, to this, to that, to that, to this. Does that make sense? So like, basically low frame moves, or as low as I can kind of think of doing it. Now if this gets, anything gets blocked, that's when I would like cancel back. So if that gets blocked, if this gets blocked, it's GG's. Like you're gonna get, you try and block, but if they block the low there, you're kind of like, your offense kind of stops. But usually that will hit. If they block that, sidestepping here is pretty good. What I was doing usually was cancelling back, right? But a lot of people know that you're cancelling back if you keep doing it. So even like this, it just kind of resets it to neutral. I've since found out that sidestepping after that can be actually pretty good depending on your opponent's like move sets, I guess, to say it. But safest way is just to stand back, turn around, or down back cancel, and try and look for a launch punish basically. So you can do like stuff like this, right? What else we got? Obviously you can start like that. You can start like this. You can do that if you really think you got like a call out on them. You can go like this if you think you got a call out. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff. Alright, what else do I do? I might show you. So I'll do this, right? We got this. Then I'll go into this. Then I'll go into this. Then I'll go into the plus frame. It's basically like one of them that I do. I can go like this. I go like that. If that counter hits, I go into this. Sometimes I go into this. So like this. Like that. Or like this. Alright. This is pretty good, as we said. This is pretty good. This one's good because it's the same scenario. It's that +1 like power crush after its scenario, or you can switch it up and like cancel it. But if you ever cancel, this is a pretty good move to do. And then you can basically decide what you want. You're in back turn, so you can do all that other stuff we just discussed before, right? This is pretty good because it jumps lows as well. So they decide to react to the low, you get this. Cool. Alright, next thing is with AOP. If I end up in AOP, I like to go into AOP this way. And hold down. That gets in AOP, then I got my mix-ups, right? Or I go... It's kind of like a sidestep AOP. If I'm far away but I'm like this range, I'll try and enter like this to look for and fish for a counter hit if I think they're not going to sidestep. Particularly like, think about like a Dragunov while running dude. They have to press like 3 forward inputs, I believe, to do their while running move, which is a plus frame. So sometimes I'll try and get here and pop this move out before they do their input, so that they do their input into the move and get counter hit. It's worked a few times. It's not like going to work every time, but it's just something to bear in mind that it does have good range if you happen to be an AOP and you can judge distance well. This is pretty good. It'll probably last you once per match where you can like mix someone up like this. So instead of like, if you've been like doing this cycle the whole time, right? Maybe the last time you do this, right? They're not going to expect it because you've been doing this the entire time. Cool. Or you can go into like this stuff. Alright, so this move here, when I cancel, I do all the RDS stuff that I showed you before. I could also go into this, right? But also, what I find is just immediately into a throw. A lot of people, this is a good way for me to test if they can throw break. And if I find they can't throw break, I'm going to throw them to oblivion. This one's a little bit riskier because it can jab you out of it, but you get like a really good combo. You get like a great combo. All that's guaranteed. Right, all that's guaranteed. Provided they tech roll like they just did. Or I just do this. Now if my opponent likes to stay on the floor like this, I jump over the top of them and then I press 4 when they're standing up. And you're going to beat everything that they like try and do if they try and hit you a wake up. So if you ever get one of those smart ass opponents that like stands on the floor, the setup is jump over the top of them and do that, and you'll relaunch them. If they decide to stand up immediately, you'll just jump in front of them, and then yeah, it won't be a setup. It just waste an Oki basically. Cool. I think that's the main things for the offense. Let me think about this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Like, I know all the moves, right? I do know all the moves. I do know all the moves. But, oh yeah, this move's pretty good too. For the guaranteed one it is. Alright, now when I get into blue, I think we'll go into the blue stuff. When I get into blue, there are multiple ways that you can approach this. The traditional way that all the Xiaoyus do is this. Right? Problem with that is they can sidestep the last hit. They can sidestep the last hit that comes out. That move there can get sidestepped by them, and good players will do it. You can do this and see what they do. And if they sidestep, then you know that they're that type of player. Now if they sidestep and they're not very good at blocking back, you can do this and then try and launch their sidestep if they're not very good at sidestepping blocking. But what I find is usually that will last like once, and then they'll be like, oh shoot, this guy's trying to launch me. Every time I sidestep, I better hold back. But that's how you deal with someone sidestepping. The other way is you just do this extension. Though sometimes I've seen people like sidestep the extension too. So that counters that, but if they don't sidestep and you do that, you're punishable. So, and it's a high, I'm pretty certain. Oh no, it's a mid. That's a very high mid. Anyway, but you are punishable at minus 13. So then what else can you do then to avoid all that stuff? Well, you can do this one. A lot of people find that hard to sidestep and you still get your plus frame pressure. What I like to do is I'll usually just do this, to be honest, and then I'll turn around, I'll run back in, they'll stand up and I'll do it again. And then I'll have this much blue left, and then I'll probably do something like this and then finish it off, right, and then go into just like taking my turn again. That works for mostly everyone. Now, if they are the sidestepping person, that is the counter, or if I want to be a little bit risky, I do this. Or I do something like this. Something like that, right? To try and catch the sidestep and get my turn back. So it really depends how safe or unsafe you want to be with it. Okay. Another way to do the blue is a lot of people, because these are like mid-highs, people won't want to duck, right? And because they're not going to duck, you're hoping that they're going to assume you're going to go into this move. So what I do is this. I go like this, and then I go into a solo. Because usually they're like thinking that you're going to do like this setup, right? So they don't want to duck it. In which case, I'll do it. Now, one thing I do for my combos is what you just saw then. So when I get a combo, and I get into this hypnotist thing, I'll go like this, I'll flip, and then I'll go into that. And that's a setup that works on a lot of people. Now, and then same situation, back into stuff. Now, if it doesn't work like that, because they're doing 1+2 breaks, I'll do like this. So I'll turn around there, and then I'll hit them with that. So if I try and get the same setup again, I'll do that. So it looks like I'm doing the 1+2 throw, but I'm not. So a lot of people, when you're in that RDS and you do that like leap, a lot of people think you're doing the like really OP move where she gets the combo. I'll just keep doing this. And this is how I tell if somebody knows how to throw break or not. Because usually people that don't know how to throw break against Xiaoyu, they're just going to do 1+2 breaks every single time. And this is how you get them attuned to being like, oh, what's the throw break for this move? Maybe it's not 1+2. Or they might start thinking, oh, he's actually doing a different throw. Let me press a different button. Once you've got them saying, oh, let me press a different button, then you can finally do this move, right? And you'll get it because they'll press the wrong throw break, right? It's only going to work against people that aren't reading the hands. You know what I mean? If they can see the hands, and some people have been able to. But for me, I don't know. I can't tell the difference between these two, to be honest. They look exactly the same as me, but I've had someone that breaks them all, and I don't know how he was doing it, but there's something that he was seeing with these moves that I can't see. But I swear to God, it makes me think he's cheating. When I'm looking now, it looks exactly the same, but there's probably some difference there. Like, even when I switch the side. Anyway, the last thing you can do from there is this. If you think they're going to duck your throws, which is what's going to happen for some people, you want to like cancel like this. You want to press down while when you're in the air. And this is a good setup because then you get your wild standing launch. Or if you think they're going to hit, you can get like a counter hit launch. So if you think about like the whole setup, go into my hypnotist. I can go into a blue, right? I can do this. I can kind of go into like a blue, right? But I kind of like this. I kind of like this against some opponents. It's kind of hard sometimes. I like that. Or I like this. We go in, we do this, we do this, we do this. Oh, we messed up. It does require some execution. I'll do that, right? Now, it doesn't work. It's not the only thing that gets you to go to destruction, unfortunately. To be honest, I could use it less and less and less as time went on. Like Tekken God Supreme, I almost couldn't do that kind of setup. But there'll be like a rare opponent that'll come along where I could do it. Because what players were doing was they were ducking the throw mix-up, but then they were pressing buttons that wouldn't let me do this, or they were just blocking that and then taking their turn. The other way they were doing it was when I was in the air like this, they would like power crush me. No, it wasn't a power crush because I beat it. When I was in the air, they would jab me out of it. So if I was doing that, the other player would just jab me in the air and then they just like float me and get like a float combo. So I was basically getting myself into my own combo, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, there was a couple of things. Which is super, super unlucky. So you won't be able to use it for like a lot, but it's there still. And you can kind of do it from anywhere. You know what I mean? You can kind of like get into this move. It's just very slow, and that's the problem with it. Okay, what else was I doing? I like to go forward sidestep whilst like sidestep into like the 4 or into this one. This one I rarely get the pickup, but I mean if you can get the pickups, if you can get this pickup, then you get like a combo extension basically. So I guess you want to practice it, but I rarely do it. And there's pretty sure there's a way to catch the end of it too. Worst case, you could just go into blue if you're worried about dropping the combo. I don't know if this hits. Yeah. I mean, you could get all that and it's a safe launch. What else? Slow low, we already covered. I only do this combo for slow low. Right, I do that combo. Sometimes I do it like this. I'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that, because they kind of go very far. It just depends how you like. I don't do this one so much because it sucks. I mostly go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you know. Or I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam. And sometimes I'll hit the wall there and then I'll run up and do my wall combo. And I'll get like some extra damage. That's why I adjust it, but it's not optimal. You do have different ways of doing combos now. Like this. I think this is the optimal. Something like this. It looks like this, but I don't do it. Yeah, I think this is the optimal combo. That route. That route was the optimal combo, but you can also do this for wall carry, where you do that one. And then you want to go like that, I believe. You kind of want to hit the opponent on the wall as much as possible. I think it goes with like a blue activation. Yeah, it's not that. I'll show you the one I actually do. This. Yeah, it's not that. But I think if you can practice trying to hit the walls, you're gonna have an easier time. Yeah. Try one more. It's probably a way to do the wall combo properly if they're far away. For that one, I would have just ended like that. But anyway, I'm no very bad with wall combo stuff, but if you can get wall carries and do wall combos and wall Oki stuff, it'll probably be even easier for you to rank up. I struggle. This is my combo. I do this, and it has really low wall carry compared to the other stuff. Like, she's ages away. It just so happens at this range it works, but like, I don't know, if I throw it off like a little bit, we'll probably go like this way. This might reach a wall. Yeah, no, it has to be straight. Other maps, when you're like over here a little bit, you ain't gonna reach that wall with my combo, but the other ones you can. Particularly if you do the right enders. So it's kind of like, you do want to practice it, but I'll be honest, I rarely did optimal wall carry stuff to get to go destruction. It's kind of one of the things I'll need to like get past where I am now. Okay, what else was there? So I showed you my combo. I showed you my setups from my combo to get into like a throw setup. I guess when you do this, right, and you flip around like this, when you flip around like this, you'll be like an RDS. So you can just go into like an actual normal move as well. You don't have to do the throw setup. But bear in mind, this, oh my god, that takes a long time, and some people will just hit you out of the air there too. So it comes with the risk. It's like the slow low. It's a great move, but it's really slow and people block it. It's kind of the same with this. It's a cheese. It's a cheese, and that's kind of why you can't necessarily solely rely on it. It's just one of those tools in your belt that you might pull out against certain opponents that it works on. The most useful thing against good opponents is like small frame Tekken, right? Try and keep your turns, you know. And then if you're in blue, then less likely gonna duck, right? They're less likely gonna duck there because guess what? They're gonna get hit with this. Now, if you're in this setup, if you get a situation like that, and they're low health, and they got that rage up, what you wanna do is this. You wanna press 4, and that's gonna counter hit the rage up, and it's gonna stop you from dying. So if you know people that like to like rage art right at the end, particularly when you go into hypnotist, that move there will counter hit them if they click a rage art. It'll actually counter hit them on a lot of moves actually because it's pretty quick, particularly from the blocked version of this. So if you look at their frames, you're at +10, so like that's a 4 frame move. So if they do anything there except for duck or block, you will counter hit them. That's why it's like really great. Obviously you do have this setup, you have this to get a plus frame, and then you have this one. That's the last plus frame, or you can cancel it, right? I like to cancel a lot these days because it looks trickier. And you can kind of cancel into more movement if you're like really good. You could like do this and then try and like get into something else, you know, and get some sort of pressure if you think they're like an opponent that's gonna like let you do that. So yeah, I built a lot around that like throw setup thing and the slow low, the blue stuff. Anyway, going back to blue, there's a couple other stuff that you can do. See how you enter and she's kind of like running a high? Watch this. If I hold down after I use this move, see how she's crouched a little bit more during the run-in? See how in the run-in she's like running lower to the ground? And then if I don't click anything, she runs a little bit higher up. The difference is this. She ends up in a crouched position at the end. If you don't click it, she'll do this. You'll see her crouch. If you don't hold down, you'll see a crouch at the end, which takes time. But if you can do this and hold down, you're automatically in crouch, so you can beat like a lot of power crushes and stuff like that. You can like go into an automatic while standing move, or you can go into this move, right? What else? Bramby roll is good against opponents that like to sidestep a lot, but it's highly punishable against certain opponents. It's a cheese that exists. I don't really rely on a lot. It's really just one of those Hail Mary things I use if I'm like, wow, this person, like, I've got no more offense to test on them. I got no more knowledge checks. They're like handling everything. So then I'll be like, maybe the Bramby roll is like gonna work. You know, so I'll try and get into a RDS position like this and see if they like fall for it. See if they know how to handle it. A lot of beating the opponents for me was trying to find what they're weak in. So I'd get some opponent that was really good in certain stuff but couldn't throw break. Or I'd get someone who could throw break but they didn't know my punishable moves. You know, they didn't know that was punishable. Or they didn't know this was punishable, so I'd spam it out. Or they would like let me take my plus frames, right? They wouldn't sidestep this move. You know, so a whole lot of that allowed me to basically beat some of those people. Now that's pretty much on the offense side. I think that's all I can really go. Oh, there is one more. This was last little addition that really helped to climb from Tekken God Supreme to go to Destruction. 4-4-3. I used to do this move a lot in Tekken God and then I'd get hurt every time. Like I'd do this, or I'd do this, and I'd get caught a lot of the time, particularly on block. I wouldn't get caught on the hit, it'd be on block because I'm -5, and I'd try and like back away But some people would just catch me and I'd get hurt every time I do it. Like I'd do it too close. You know, like I'd do it here or something. Or I'd do this and I'd like whiff it a little bit. You know? Anyway, so what I found out is to speeden up your retreat, you can do this. You hit them and then you do this move, right? So it looks like that. It looks like that. And you can do it on whiff too. It can save you. I don't know what the frame is on it, but it seems like she gets the hell out of the way really quickly. And what this allows for, it puts her into like... puts her into RDS. And if they're the type that's gonna press on you, they'll probably whiff the first move if they're doing a string. And then you'll press this between that move and whatever other move they're gonna do next. And you'll find that you're gonna launch them. So it basically stops people from hitting on this move. You know, which means that you can now do other things. So yeah, you want to look at that as a good way to like launch people. Now you can go 2 as well and then come back in, depending if you think they're going to chase you. You can go like this and then try and get the plus frame. So like, depending how you think they're going to go, you have a few options. You know. And you can also do this. See that? You can kind of like double spin it. Because she's in RDS, so you can just do a down back cancel, which then gets her into this. There. So if you go like this, back, and then down back cancel into AOP, she's going to do the AOP duck, and then you can do your AOP stuff, right? It's just something to practice. Something to practice. But she gets lots of range, right? And I feel like you're gonna miss some. Like you're gonna make a whiff on something, you know, and you can get whatever you want to do. That was really OP, that move. I kind of stole it from another Xiaoyu that did it on me. That's how I found out about it. I was like, wow, that was like really annoying. That was really annoying. So yeah, that would probably be the last one in terms of my offense that I would probably throw in at you. Yeah, we went through all the other cheeses. I'll do a couple of stuff just to see what I do. Let's get like a full block going though. I'll probably go like this. Oh yeah, I do this stuff. Sometimes I go like this. Like this one's not too bad. So you go like this, like that, and into a launch. What else we got? This, into this. This move is really quick. 12 frame, -4 on hit. And then my wall combo. You have this one. Wall combo would have been... I should probably cover the wall combo that I do. I got 2 routes. Okay, alright. You got that one right. I just should stop it from oaking, just so you can see it properly. Alright. So if you're lined up straight, you do this one, and then you get a... If you're lined up straight, you do this one. And don't click anything, and it should be in back turn. And then if she rolls, you can go into like the throw mix up. So if she's on the floor and she tech rolls, that's gonna grab her. And if they're mashing tech roll, you're gonna get that set up from that split position. The other thing is this. Basically, you want to do like that follow-up, and ideally you want to do this type of follow-up. Just depends what kind of pressure you want. You know, you see that? You can kind of like hit her again if you do the forward roll into the AOP cancel. And then if you're still in the like AOP, you can go up and like get that, which is gonna really like throw people off a little bit. What else we got? So that's the walk combos that I do. Not really a lot there for me that I set up. I like to retreat a lot and sidestep and go for like fishes. Bearing in mind it's pretty slow, but this is a pretty good move, and I like doing this one. I like doing that one into that, particularly if they're on a wall. So if they're on a wall... See how you're +8? This is a 10 frame move and it's also high crushes on reset. And if you get it and it hits them on a counter hit, then you get like a free entry into blue. Bear in mind, remember what I said about if they stay on the floor. Remember what I said. And there's different ways to do that. I think you gotta be actually side on for this type of one though. There's 2 ways to get over the top of them. Cool. Alright, that's all the offense side of stuff. Now it's like what you call whiff punishes, which is pretty important. This one no one can teach you. Alright, so I do know how to KBD, but I'm not very good at it. I gotten better. I've upgraded my fight stick since Hayden got a destruction, so I find I can do it a little bit more consistently. But as you can see, I still suck. I still suck at it. But I'll try and do it. In the match, usually I'm doing this. I'm usually doing this. Probably like something like this, you know. I don't do this dancing stuff as much, but it'll probably look like something like this, or I'm holding back and trying to like, try and do that. But anyway, what you're trying to look for is if you go forward and they whiff a move, you want to be ready for like the launch of the move that's whiffed, right? Or if you think they're going to run in, what I like to do is, if you look at my frames, it takes me like 14 frames to do forward, forward, back, right? There's a lot of moves that can hit a 14 frame. And some people are slower, like that was slower. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, I mean, that's 15. There's a lot of frames for you to try and hit like a launcher. Try and hit a launcher on them. So if you think someone's about to like go into you like that, try and throw out your launcher to like catch them dashing in. Now if you don't like the idea of throwing out a really negative move that can get you launched, you could try like something different. But you want to kind of like do something to handle their keep out. I mean, to handle their run-ins. I like the launch, but there are other methods. But you need something to like keep them away, basically. I like doing this one if I think I got their timing right. And then what I'll do is I'll try and bail away. Because some people don't punish this, they don't know it's punishable. So like, I like that one, you know. You can also just try this one. Particularly if you think someone's going to do this, you know, run up and sidestep really close because they're going to be like really close to your hips, so they'll go further. So that one is, I like to do that. The other way is I just move around, and then if they start to like whiff in front of me, like if they did this move for example, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna launch that. So you always want to be looking out for those kind of like launches. I don't know all the punishes, by the way. If we're going to talk about the punishes, there are certain moves I know that's punishable. There are certain characters that I will be careful of things like flash on Yoshimitsu. I will always assume that they're going to flash when I'm going to do like run an offense. Like if I was to run in like that to a Yoshi, I won't. I'll run in and I'll do this. Same for if people have a rage art. If I do this and someone's got a rage art, I'll hold back. I'll hold back here just in case they do the rage art, and I'll wait to see what they do. And then when I think it can take my turn again, because if I press too quick, I'm going to get hurt, then I'll go into it. That allows me to call out like the first layer rage artist people, and the like first layer Yoshimitsu flash, and then the Azuchina where she jumps back and hits you, and then the Lars one, and then the Hwarang back one stuff, whatever it is. Basically all those moves that counter you running in with this thing, I like to just bait them out first. Back one's a good example of that, baiting that out too. So, I mean, I do know that from a punishment's perspective, but like, there's a lot of characters I don't know it's punishable. I've been trying to learn, but I probably know like 10 to 20% of the punishes. I don't even know the launch punish ones. I know Kazuya's homing mid. I know the ones that you see a lot against the characters you verse. Like, I know the ones that, like, if it goes into some OP combo, I will probably know the punish of that particular move, because you'll get sick and tired of getting launched or getting counter hit and getting comboed and then put onto the wall and then killed. So you're probably in the same boat as me, but ideally the more punishes you know, the easier the game gets. But I just wanted to say that I don't know a lot of them, so that you can be like, oh, what did he focus on? I think if you learn that stuff, it's going to help. I don't know all the duckable moves. I do know certain setups, like Steve. I know how he sometimes will use a high to get into his stance moves. So if you can duck his highs, then you can prevent, and duck and launch his highs, you can prevent his stance transitions, which takes away a lot of his pressure. But I don't know all the scenarios that lets him get into that stance. But there are certain moves I'm like, oh, that's that move, and I'll duck it and like launch it or something, right? But I'll be honest, a lot of the duckable moves, I'm either too slow at reacting to, or I just like don't see it. But I do, as I said, try and look out for them. So the main thing for me, how I'm getting out of a fence, is I try and take my turn first, you know, and then I try and keep my turn. So I'm not gonna do this, because if I do this and they block it, it's no longer my turn. So what I started to do is like, if I do that, it's not my turn. So what I started to do is like things that are like not -10, you know. That one's -11, but you can go into -5. You know, canceling is technically still my turn if they don't stop the cancel. You know what I mean? So yeah. That's kind of what I'm doing, right? Until I get into a blue somehow. And then even then, I'm still trying to run my like cancel setup stuff. I mean, I'm still trying to run my offense where I still get to keep my turn. So I find that helps me get through certain opponents. What else did I do? Alright, if I can't do that and it's their turn, basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a jab to take my turn back. I'm looking for a back one to take my turn back. I'm looking for just a Hail Mary slow low. I'm looking for a Hail Mary AOP launch or a Hail Mary AOP into this. Or I actually defend their move and react to it properly and either take my turn when it's my turn, because I know it's my turn, or happen to get like a sidestep whiff and launch them and then take my turn. It's basically what I'm doing. So if we're gonna take you to a match, there might not be any matches though, because it was a while ago. But that's pretty much it. If that's all you wanted to see of my offense and how I hit go destruction, that's what I did. It's a hard thing to show because everyone's got their own style, but I at least wanted to take you through all the things that I did differently. There was a couple of like new, 2 new additions since last time. The first addition was forward 3 into the retreat twirl into a launchable 4, RDS 4, and also the RDS 1+2 4 into the launchable 4 thing again. I did a lot of player matches recently, so I don't know if we can see a ranked match. Oh, there is one. Alright. Oh, the old ones are saved and from years ago. That's crazy, that's still there. I didn't fight your Eds, that's an old thing. Yeah, I don't have any of my rank up matches anymore. They're on my YouTube channel though if you want to see them. I mean, I fight Harry Bucket a lot, who's from my region. He demolishes me a lot. Let's go for the one that I beat Cheeky with. Cheeky's a Xiaoyu. You'll probably see Xiaoyu antics, so we'll have a look and then I'll see if I can call out anything. Battle. But as you can see, like, these people are better, so half the time I'm losing against them. I think Harry Bucket's got like a 95% win rate against me, and I think Cheeky's pretty high too. But this one, I guess I got a win on him, so I guess we'll see how I did it. He knows the setups though, you know what I mean? He's not gonna fall for the stuff that we just went through. It'll be easier in ranked. There you go, I went for a safe like starting point. He's OP. I learnt this small frame Tekken from him. So like, I showed this fight because if you show you, pay attention to his offense as well. But did you see the back one? He was trying to steal. He was trying to steal a turn back, right? He thought I was gonna keep attacking, so he went to back one my offense to stop me so he could take his turn, but I cancelled back, right? And then I launched his back one because of it. Did I know he was gonna back one? No. But I saw it and I launched it. And then I put myself on the wall, which was not a good idea. This was actually terrible. I had an advantage and then I just gave the advantage away by doing that. I threw this out of worry. He sidestepped because he was at the wall, so I got lucky and I hit it. Also bear in mind, this is like 250 ping, by the way. I'm fighting him, he's in America. So like, he's not going to be able to react to everything that you're seeing. And likewise for me. But we are predicting moves. We are predicting moves. I tried a taunt at range to try and bait him in, but it didn't work. And here I know that it's not my turn, but I can power crush certain things, right? But have a look at his offense. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff you want to be able to do. That's what I've been trying to replicate. His offense is OP. This way he's a god too. Even that little twirl, look, he's out. He's gone. If I had pressed into that, he goes into AOP, right? If I had pressed into any of that, he would have probably like gotten like a counter hit on me or something. I'm trying to do the 4-4-3 stuff, right? And just chip some damage, sidestep, stay in range to get lows on him because they're harder to block. I have a feeling I'm going to beat him with slow lows, weirdly enough. I got lucky with that. I stuffed up the combo because I didn't know I'd do it. Messed it up and I die. He messed up his combo because of the ping. I get an advantage, I got the wall. I think here I should have taken the wall break. I should have taken the wall break and then rammed him down the bottom. Because also he's kind of like away from the wall now, or I'm further away from it. And then I slow load him because he was sidestepping, and he doesn't sidestep block, well at least in this ping. That move is a different setup. Oh, that is something I didn't tell you about. You see that? +4, it hits him. It's linear, right? But watch this. When he blocks it, he's +1, right? And I'm in back turn. You can power crash here, but it's because you're in back turn, you bail. And it creates space for a launch, which I tried, but he wasn't having any of it. That's actually a pretty good setup. For aggressive opponents, a good setup. I'm trying to play keep out. I missed the punish. I suck at keep out. See that? I cancel it. Because I'm worried he's gonna duck it, right? And then try and like launch him. I missed a launch. I could have done this. See how that whiffs? I could do this. You know what I mean? That would have been a better choice. Or I could have done this. We gotta do it like this. I could get him into the OP one, right? And then probably get the wall carry. Too much of a wall carry though. But if I stay there, I die. And if I sidestep it, see that? Anyway, I'm bad at wall combos. Let's go back. Didn't happen. He caught out my cancel. He's fishing. I'm kind of interested in how I beat him in this one. That setup. I mean, where I learned my stuff is fighting this dude, by the way. Look at this. Hits me. He's got plus frames. He doesn't have to retreat, but he does. I don't know what I'm doing, because it's clearly not my turn. I guess I'm trying to steal a turn. And look at him. Setup. Bam. Counter hits me. Because I was mashing. Caught out my mash. He's got good wall combos. This is a real wall combo. See that? It seals the deal. It's a big difference to my stuff and his. Fight. For some reason, I'm losing, yet I somehow win. So what on earth do I do? I actually do an offense. Actually do an offense, look at that. I know that he struggles with the slow low sometimes, so I'll spam it on him a bit more often than I would normally do it against others. As I said, because of ping. That was good. That was good evasion. I mean, this thing I'm showing you because there's stuff I do in matches that works, right? But it's not like I knew exactly like, oh, do this. But I'm aware of the evasive properties. So look at this. He went for a power crush. I twirled twice to go into this just to make sure that I got out of the way. And I got lucky with a wall combo. They didn't get my actual wall combo like perky because I didn't set it up. See that? Watch the run in, and then I sidestepped. He sidestepped with me, but then I do my move. He wasn't waiting for it. He launched me because what happened was I'm -2. So he took his turn as he should. And I was probably thinking he wasn't going to take his turn, but he knows the frames. So he took his turn whilst I was trying to take my turn and he beats me. And that's what you're going to see on how you can get other opponents too. If they're trying to take their turn on minus frames, you basically can get free launches on them. Which is exactly what he did to me then. That's important. That's very important. I must slow low or something. I mean, he had a plus frame. He just got unlucky with AOP, but he had that plus frame then. He could have taken a turn and hurt me. See this? I'm not sure how to start the fight, right? So remember how I said sometimes I step back? So I step back this time, but then I see him whiff, and he's in range. So I run in, and what I did was actually, if you look at my movement, I run in, I do 2 forward inputs, and then I go into it. Because if I try and do this move out here, it will miss. See how it missed? So I have to go like this. I have to go 2 forward inputs. I have to do a half back cancel basically. And if I go 2 forward, I will die. See that? So I waited for him to miss and then I went into it. And so I went forward, into the move. Forward, into the move. Not into the move. And not too early. That's kind of important. You can do this too. You could go like that way, but I wanted the more damaged ones. And that's what I'm looking about. Like, I'm out of range. He's probably not worried about the whiff at that range, but I need to get in. I need to get in and see that. Anyway, let's go back. Let's see if I do the combo right. Wasn't the greatest wall combo, but it happened. I got launched trying to do something fancy. We're on the wall. This is a very dangerous spot against this guy. I pop a blue and pray. I try to slow low to get out there because it didn't work. I somehow get off the wall a little bit. He's trying to like hit my sidestep to keep me there. He gets me back on it. Then he moves. He's repositioned me back on the wall. This is what all good players are going to do, which helps because if that's what you notice, you can start thinking about homing moves because you're like, oh, he's trying to reposition me. I think I'm just YOLO a launch because I know he needs to get in, but I dropped it. There you go, the sidestep thing. That's what got him in the end. Look, I didn't go forward, I went sidestep. And he was hoping I'd do this. He was hoping that I would do this. So he was hoping this, that I'd hit into him. And he was creating a whiff opportunity. You know what I mean? But I sidestepped. And he was, what would you call this? I'm surprised I did that actually, yeah, my timing was on point. He was flowing. I guess flowcharting would be the way to say it. And that's why that hit. But my timing wasn't perfect, but it looks like I didn't mess up the combo. Could have killed him then. And I'm pretty certain I died. I must have died here. If I don't die, it's surprising, hey. Wow, I'm still alive. Holy shoot. Now how'd this go? Alright, so I missed something then. Let's go back there. That was a messy win. This is like, you know, but I'm showing you a fight that's difficult as well. And I showed you 2 Shays specifically because you're probably playing Shay, right, if you're watching this. So at least you can watch him play well to see what else you can do. And then you get to see me doing what I'm doing. But it's different against different opponents, like, and different characters. But if we go right to the end of that, again, there is something there that I want to show you that you can do. We actually had the win earlier.
Round 4. Fight. Final round.
If we go right at the end of the match. You know what? He could have killed me on this red, by the way, before he did the red. I'm pretty certain if he just did his normal wall oaky stuff, he would have beaten me. But anyway. Now that first issue with me was this. You talk about whiff punishing. Watch this. Dead. Look, dead. Absolutely dead. That's crazy. That's pretty funny. Look at this. That's pretty funny. What would you do then? What if you're later? See how he ducks? See how he ducks there? Watch that. See how he just did a duck? That is important because guess what? That whips. If he doesn't duck, that hits. And that's why he will do that setup. So if he whiffs, he always ducks. And that's why I think this thing misses. Because he's ducking. Pretty crazy. Anyway, this thing here is a counter hit. Watch this. You get guaranteed one of that. Because your frames are 14, plus 14, which gives you this. So I could have killed him. I could have killed him here. But instead we went into that awkward, like... So I could have killed him on the whiff. I could have killed him there. So you need to know those 2 things. Whiff punishing, as I said, important. Hit confirming stuff, so if you get these situations where you're plus 14, which that setup gets you, which is what I was saying before, I like using that move, because if you hit him on a hit, you get like a guaranteed entry into blue. But then also, I guess, the last thing is, he back one-ed, right? He was trying to back one some pressure, and I saw the back one and was able to do the homing move against it. Not that I had to do the homing move, it could have been any move. Like, there was 3 chances there to beat him. I should have not given him 3 chances given my health. But I guess it did show different ways of winning. And that's why you want to be like on top of any of those scenarios as soon as they happen. So it's basically 2 whiffs and a counter hit confirm. You know, I missed the first whiff, I missed the counter hit confirm, but I did get the last whiff. Maybe. Unless I was just spamming. But it's helpful to look out for that. Whiff punishing at these levels is really, really important. Is there a Kazuya fight that I have here to show? I don't think so, but Kazuya is kind of common. I might show you, look at this, just 0-3-0-3 the whole time. He adjusted to me. These are all player fights, by the way. Oh yeah, we do have a Kazuya. Looks like I lost to him. We'll show the one I win. What is this guy, firstly? Tekken God Supreme in Season 3. So, theoretically, it's around my level. I show you the one I win
Get
as
ready
opposed to
for
one
the
I
next
lose.
battle.
One I lose, probably just me getting like demolished. Kazuya's different, but it depends how this guy played Kazuya. He obviously must have adjusted in the last 2 rounds to get the last 2 sets to my whatever I did here.
Round 1. Fight.
I didn't punish it. But you want to know that punish? Oh yeah, Kazu, you have to sidestep to the left a lot. You can see my offense though, against a different opponent that doesn't know the Shay antics as much. You know, Disney Jab and Awa Rising 2 helps hit spammers. I messed up the combo, but it's alright. I miss my hit confirms a lot. I'm missing all that damage. I didn't launch it. I didn't launch that either. Like, I'm missing punishes, you know what I mean? I told you I don't know them. And I don't know what this was. This is like purposefully losing.
Round 2.
I'm pretty certain this guy was a God of Destruction in season 2. But yeah, I'm not KBDing. I'm just holding back, you know. I'm holding back and trying to react to stuff. Because what I find is if I'm not doing a perfect KBD, I will get hurt. So I just sometimes rather just hold back and just see how it goes. But we're getting absolutely demolished. So whatever happens, I must have gotten super lucky to take this type of match.
Round 3.
But we'll see what changed. Well, I threw in a slow low. That's the first thing I did. That thing here. So this. I have a theory that by breaking frames, I can then guarantee this move if they react with a certain way. But in this case, all it did was maybe disguise that I wanted to do that. Anyway, when I get that move, I'm plus 12. This guarantee hits, by the way. You kind of want to know that. I noticed that he jabbing into that. I wonder if I do anything with it. He tried to sidestep it, and I changed the move. I mixed him up. See this? It's very hard to deal with that. Particularly if they like to block. Like he's taking just like a guessing game there. That was cheeky style, the one guy you just saw before. But not done as good as him. That's why I showed you that 5. I think I see here? I noticed he likes to go forward. Watch this, he goes forward, back. Forward, back. And then I waited for the next time. Forward, back. This time I think he sidestepped. But I caught him on the sidestep. But I was looking for the forward back and trying to get him on the forward. Anyway, I got a launch. I didn't take my plus frame back here because he would duck it. So I went for this one, but he didn't duck it. So then, but he didn't know the... He either didn't know the punish or he was late on the punish. I think he was just late. I think he knows that he was just late. Also, this is Oceania, so we didn't have as much ping. I have a plus frame here, but you know what I said before about that low thing? That you can kind of get it because they're not expecting it? That's what I did against him. I got lucky with another launch. Oh, and then this. I purposely dropped the combo. I did that purposely and did that to make it look like I had messed up. But what I was really doing is trying to set up the slow low. Which is what I did. Now, I don't know if that did a mental stack. This is reactable. It might have just been that he just didn't block it. But in my mind, I have noticed that sometimes when I drop combos, people are more like... They're noticing the combo drop, so their minds are about thinking about, oh, he just dropped his combo, and they're not thinking about, oh shoot, I need to block a slow low now. So that's why I did that. Also, how I started this, I must have read that he likes to sidestep on round start, so last time I did a tracking launch, right? I think a lot of me winning against this gentleman though is because of a lot of luck, you know? Like, he's fundamentally better, right? So he's gonna win the long sets. But I think this is like showing that with the right luck and the right setups and the wrong reaction by him, you can do it. Look, the whole lot. This was actually a really good representation of that stuff I was trying to show you in the last hour. Like that range thing. Firstly, we got to start here. The launch, all right. We sidestep, we Bramby roll once, we go into a throw. Okay, here I try and jump over him because I thought he was going to stay on the floor. He didn't. So then I land in a crouch position, right? So I go into setup 2. See how I'm crouched? Then I'm going to go into a while standing 2. Or while rising 2. I was looking for like a launch counter hit, but he didn't hit. But I got a hit on him. Then I just went into like a move, but I got countered. I didn't finish this off because I would have died, so I stopped it there and let him take his turn. He missed. I got this fish, and I think I just so happened to get lucky that he wasn't aware of this setup because he tried to react. And then I whiffed my setup, but I went and tried to recover it, and I did the throw. And as you can see, he did break the throw this time. I dropped the combo, but I still won.
You win.
That was better. You know, I'm not perfect, but that was a better display of the stuff. So I don't know, feel free to steal what you want. I didn't have to sidestep left a lot in this fight, but I bet if you check the next ones, I bet he like just mad hell suits me to death. So yeah, well, anyway, a lot of luck on that. It was probably just adjusting the Xiaoyu, but I wanted to show a different character that wasn't Xiaoyu so you can see that like it's different against different opponents. You know, there's stuff there that you gotta be aware of too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I know that's like not like structured in a way it's like here's move 1, here's move 2, but I just kind of make these a little bit more like conversational. But if you ever got questions that you want to ask me, drop by the stream. And this is not to advertise the stream, it's just literally like another resource that you can come see. And we got the other Shays there too. We got Cheeky there. We got Parody, who's like from the Middle East. He's pretty good Shay. And then we got a new one who's a God 5 Shay. I won't say his name because he won't want me to, but anyway, we got some more Shays which know what they're doing. And we also got some like anti-Shay specialists who basically are OP at defeating Shay. So if you want to practice your offense against people that know Shay matchup so that you can get better, we do that player fights Friday, Saturday usually. And then I'm usually doing like labbing or ranked. But anyway, you can ask questions there or you can say, hey, when you were doing this, what do I do here? There's an element of a lot of this stuff that I was showing you that you just gotta be like, you gotta get more used to. There is some skill to like timing, you know, like judging when someone's gonna come in so you can launch them, or judging when someone's gonna sidestep. It's timing, but you just gotta try and pay attention to. Okay, when I do a jab, what's the person do? Do they jab back? Do they duck? Do they sidestep? Do they just keep blocking? Do they do a low? Do they power crush? Like you gotta like pay attention to every interaction and try and remember, and that's hard. And then start seeing if they're replicating things like Kazuya's. Are they always 1-1-2ing after every interaction? You know, are they trying to guess the punishes? If you start knowing that, you know that if you get him in that setup, you could set him up for a slow low, or you could set him up for like a duck launch. You know, are certain people trying to power crush you when your back's on the wall? You know, when you're trying to hit your way off the wall, they're trying to power crush you so they get the wall splat. You know, you just got to pay attention to where like you are and what people do where you are. You know, a lot of people like to sidestep people back onto the wall, so then you have a higher chance to get a homing move on them. You know, all kinds of stuff that you just got to pay attention to be able to defeat your opponents. But the biggest thing is just look for their weaknesses. Test out if they know the matchups, so they know the punish, if they know your knowledge checks. Can they throw break? You know, are they a little too keen? Do they whiff a lot? Like, all of the knowledge checks that you can throw at your opponent, you must throw at them. Can they handle back one? You know, do they know about back one and what the frames are and all that stuff? Do they know they can launch you if you whiff it? Try it all, and then hopefully something like gets through and you can like get the win off them. But it's just trial and error at the same time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a bit of a long one, but I did want to do this when I hit God of Destruction, so that is it. I'm now going to focus on learning punishes and all the moves that you can duck, and then hopefully that can get me to like higher ranks, past God 1, 2, 3. I do want to get to like actually the real top rank one day, which at the moment's God 7. I think it's God 8 once people get there, but most of the pros are in God 7, at least this month. Next month it might be different. So I think by the end of season 3, I'd like to hit God 3. So that's my next goal. But I can't rely on luck like you saw in that Kazuya fight. I got to learn matchup knowledge and learn movement. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'll put out another update video and I'll make it a little bit shorter, because this was the big like this is what I did to go to destruction. But I'll make it shorter and I'll just show you like here's a new move that I'm doing, or this is how I'm moving now. So I'll maybe do like a drill. Like this is how I'm practicing how to counter that certain character, and then I'll just show you for one character, one setup. Once I know it's working in matches and all that kind of stuff, so that you can kind of get bite-sized pieces of updates. You know, if I learn a new Xiaoyu dance and get better at like KBD and all that stuff, I'll show you how I practiced it. But anyway, that's assuming I get there. You guys all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Take care all. Bye bye.